in most, okay, and do you remember what most means?
More than 50%.
Yep. So in more than 50% of corporations, the salaries of executives are set by a group from the corporation's board of directors. Okay, so what we're saying is that most corporations set the salaries of their exec team by the group of the corporation's board of directors. All right, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Since is an important word to remember because it introduces a premise, which is
Okay.
those things there. So since the board's primary mission is to safeguard the economic health of the corporation rather than to make its executive rich.
Since supports primary relations to make executive bridge. Okay, then.
I know that this is at least is going to be a conclusion or or the subsidiary conclusion because of that word since.
Oh,
Since is synonymous with
this is our premise.
because and for.
Okay.
We don't normally talk like this, but if I said for like how this would work is if I said like since it's hot outside, we should get ice cream.
Mhm.
So it goes since premise, comma, conclusion. But I could replace since with because too. Because it's hot outside, comma, we should get ice cream. Or I could say this is the one that a lot of people forget about, but it's very true. For it is hot outside, we should get ice cream.
Okay, since the board is not.
Yes, so that's
So
how
but is it always like that, or like let's say I'm taking the test and I say since, are they gonna try to trick me?
so we're gonna get to the end. It's going to
Okay.
be yep. So let's get to it. Let's keep. That's a great question. So, but clearly, so we're bringing in a like we're contesting something now, right? We're saying wait, but this expectation. So, what is this expectation referring to?
the from the main conclusion, like the but this expectation.
We're
Like,
referring to this expectation, right?
yeah.
Yes, this expectation is based on poor reasoning. So we're saying that this expectation is based on poor reasoning. So whatever we just described, we're now saying is wrong. After all, or at least based on poor reasoning. And then we have the word after all, which is like kind of like in addition or to continue. We're going to offer our support here of why this expectation is based on poor reasoning. And we
Okay.
say, after all, most members of the corporation's board are themselves executives of, oh, here's another really good word, some. What does some mean on the LSAT? Okay, at least one.
Okay.
At least one.
So
You've hit
50%.
like five. I have like seven, like probably 8, 9 words I make people memorize. And we've hit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this question.
I'm already writing them all them down with their significance and on the side.
Yeah, so these are like 5 big words. Most,
Okay.
since,
After
some,
all,
because, and for, all big words to know.
okay.
Because executives of at least one corporation and can expect to benefit after setting generous benchmarks for executive salaries. All right, so this is support, right, or a premise
Mm-hmm.
for why this expectation is based on poor reasoning. So if you were going to look at this now and we say if that we know that this is an argument, it has a conclusion, what would you highlight as the main conclusion? What sentence?
Expecting, but clearly this expectation is based on
Excellent.
everything.
So you're spot on. So that what we highlighted in green earlier is a conclusion, but it's a subsidiary conclusion.
Okay.
What a subsidiary conclusion is whenever we use a premise to support a conclusion,
Mm-hmm.
and then in turn we use that conclusion, and maybe we use another premise because we do here to support a new conclusion.
Okay.
And so we take that subsidiary conclusion and we add it. So we have this one right here, and we add it in addition to this support down here, right?
Mhm.
To get that this clear reasoning is based on poor, or this expectation is based on poor reasoning.
Or-
Use both of those to support what you highlighted in yellow.
Okay.
So go ahead and pick what answer choice you like for this one. All right. So what sentence did we say was the main conclusion?
But clearly, this expectation is based on poor reasoning.
Yes. And what is
But all of the board members are
this? What is this expectation?
the way of setting salaries is expected to prevent excessively large salaries. This way, okay, so
Yeah. So our conclusion is the expectation that this way of setting executive salaries will prevent excessively large salaries is based on poor reasoning. Right? If we would fill in this we could fill in this expectation with what the expectation actually is.
okay, so it's to prevent excessively large salaries. Thanks to the general most corporate access than the board members actually staying. I am a little lost here.
Okay. So let's go through A.
Okay.
So more than 50% of corporate executives, thanks to their generous salaries, are not financially dependent on money earned as board members. That's not what that sentence is saying at all, right?
No.
Okay, so it's not A. B. So more than 50% of corporate executives might be less generous in setting their own salaries than the board members because setting them then the board members setting them are.
Okay.
Is that so? It says the point made, our question says the point made by the author is that the most common way of setting executive salaries might not keep those salaries in bounds because
Because most corporate may be less generous in setting their own salaries than the board members actually setting them are.
that doesn't make any sense, right?
No.
Okay, C, many board members might let their self-interest as executives interfere with properly discharging their role as board members in setting executive salaries.
That sounds a little.
I like that.
What does many? What does many mean? I know that many has.
Many means many things. We don't really know what many means.
Okay.
So it means like at least one as well. However, if you had some in men, you don't see this very often, but if you did have some and many in the same like stimulus or something, many does mean more than one.
Okay.
I mean more than some. If they're like if you have like if I said some people like ice cream, many people like ice cream, many is referring to more, but we don't know what.
Okay.
So without some, many is just at least one.
Okay. So many board members may let themselves. Okay. Yeah, that one. It's definitely
So
good.
the reason that D is wrong is because it's saying that do we know why executive salaries are unreasonably high?
No.
No, it says that they do so because like that's not our conclusion isn't why they do anything. Our
Mhm.
conclusion is just that it's a bad expectation.
Okay. Okay.
And then E, many board members are remunerated, I don't even know how to pronounce that, generously and wish to protect their source of income by pleasing the executives to whom they owe their appointments on the board. That sounds like it would be true, but that's going too far. Our conclusion is just that
Somebody may.
yellow sentence. So
Okay.
that's why our answer is going to be C.
Okay. So when it gives too much information, but like it's getting off a track and.
Like if you're like a lot of people that miss main conclusion questions do so because they apply the conclusion. They like say like, well, yeah, but this is what would happen because it's like, yeah, because that would make sense that would happen, but that's not what they're arguing for.
Stimulus. Okay.
We're finding what they're arguing for. We're not applying it to like what this means.
Yeah. Okay.